Hello and welcome to my first official video on YouTube. Today I'm going to be talking about my June wrap-up. In the month of June, I read 19 books and I don't know how many pages. This is what I read, so you tell me how many pages I read. Rating them between 1 to 5 stars. Starting off with The All In and Bad Blood. Now, this is book 4, book 5, and then in here is a bonus content, which is the 12 novella. So it's not like an official book, but it's like part of the Natural series. I started the Natural series in May and finished it in the first month of June. It follows Cassie, so she's a people reader, and she ends up joining a super special FBI program. The program is called The Naturals, and they're called The Naturals. Each book has like part of its own story, but it also like wraps around the main concept, which is Cassie and about her mother. Immediately ran to the bookstore and bought the rest because it is so good. Next book I read is The Hold Me. I saw on a different TikToker's page, and she grabbed the book because she was curious, because look. Yeah, I immediately needed this on my shelf. So I grabbed it and I didn't even know what it was about. I just knew I had to have it because it was pretty. But little did I know that not only is it pretty, but the story behind this book is so cute. So it follows Zoe and Jace. Now Jace is her brother's best friend, and they end up like sharing secrets in the treehouse, and we end up seeing like their notes. Like, it is so cute. So we see the notes that they pass on to each other. So on Zoe's page, like on Zoe's chapter, like her perspective, we see Jace's notes that he sent her, and then on Jace's page, like on his POV, we see the notes that Zoe wrote him. And look how cute that fontaine is. It's so cute, and it's like sometimes I wish that I had never stopped writing you notes, Zoe. This is when they're in a fight, and everything about this book, the spice, the writing, the plot, the characters, so good. And if you have not gotten this book yet or want to get this book because of how pretty it is, you should walk and run and then sprint to Barnes & Noble to immediately get this book. This is another 6-star read of this year. The book that I read was The House Across the Lake by Riley Sagar. Now, this book, it was the plot twist was really good, and I loved everything about this book, but the only thing that like really made me concerned about this book is the alcoholism and the amount of shock that I get from this girl not being constipated. Not the point. This book had my jaw dropped. It follows Cassie, and Cassie is a Nepo baby, and she ends up wanting to like live that suburban life with a husband, and she wants kids. So she ends up settling down on a house in the lake. And sadly, her husband ends up dying under mysterious circumstances that we don't know yet until the end of the book. And so when she's obviously drinking, she gets bored, and so she ends up spying on the couple that is moving in across the lake. And she gets curious because they end up arguing, and then the wife goes mysteriously missing. So obviously she makes it her life mission to see what happened to the wife. Book I rate it like a 4.5 out of 5 because of it's just because of the alcoholism, because like for me that was just like, but other than that, so good. The next book is The Vanishing Cherry Blossom Bookshop. This book I got in the $5 with cafe purchase, the sale that they're doing Barnes & Noble, and I just thought it was cute. I'm gonna be completely honest. I just thought, like, isn't that so cute? But when I started reading it, I just, like, immediately fell in love with it. One is about the Vanishing Cherry Blossom bookshop, girl and a cat that runs it. And the girl picks out a book, and they have to read a specific chapter, a specific page, and a specific paragraph of that book. And someone from this world reads that exact same page, and they get teleported into the bookshop, and that's when they get, like, transported into a part of their life that they're missing, or a part of their life that they have to, like, solve in order for them to go back. Stories are so cute. There's, like, Peter Pan and Little Prince, and it warmed my heart. This is a good, like, standalone, heartwarming book. Rated 5 stars. The next book is Catch Me If I Fall. Catch Me If I Fall is so cute. So the plot twist at the end is insane. It's basically about two twins, and they go on a camping trip with their school, and one of them gets, like, a head injury and starts, like, acting strange. And so the other twin is like, what is happening right now? And they live in a futuristic world. So in this futuristic world, it's not like AI is taking over. It's more of, like, they incorporate AI a little bit more of like those technology movies where you can see them, like, wearing a ring, and it's, like, you know, like a pop-up screen. And it is super cute if you're in, like, that sibling relationship, and definitely recommend. And I give this one a 5 stars. This one is the Afterlife the Party series. This series, it makes me so mad and disappointed that it's not talked about as much, because it's perfect for summer reading. It's perfect for thriller, like, mystery, but also with, like, witchy and vampire and werewolf elements into it. And I think it's just so cute. So it follows Tansy, and Tansy goes to a party with her best friend, and she ends up getting bitten by a vampire. The vampires kidnapped her best friend, and so her and supposed love interest end up taking a road trip to find this best friend, and they go through hell to find this best friend. They do everything for her. He ends up, like, talking about how not turning into a vampire is, like, this cutesy thing. It's more of, like, oh, I feel, like, dead, I feel gone, the sun hurts. More of, like, that, which I really like. And so if you're looking for a good vampire series that is also, like, high school and, like, love interest, definitely recommend this series, and I give this series an absolute 6 out of 5. Next one is my first romantasy series of June, One Dark Window. So this book, loved. I love this author so much. I think I'm gonna get The Night and the Moth because it's by her as well, and this series is so good. Like, the monster element, the cards, the mist, the vice, the love interest. Yeah, so it follows Elspeth. She ends up getting this, like, sickness. But the thing is, with the sickness, you get magical powers. But in this version, they don't like the magical powers. So they sent people to kill people with magical powers. And so she ends up hiding and running away. And with the magical powers, they also find, like, these cards that the Shepherd King made a long time ago. But we end up finding a little bit more about the Shepherd King, because she ends up touching a magical card that ends up giving her, like, another person, and that's called, like, the Nightmare. So the Nightmare at first helps her, but then he overtakes her, and so the love interest helps her try to get her back, and he's like, let her go. That's all I'm saying. Want to know more? I would suggest to pick it up, and I obviously give this one a 6 stars. Now for the next series that I read, I'm a little late. Back then, I bought a book series that I wanted to read before the movie adaptations, because I ended up watching the movie adaptations and finding out that it was based off a book, and I wanted to buy the book and read the book and see the difference between the movie adaptation and the book. And so they're both by Jenny Han, and I know that might be a little problematic. I know that she's not the only author that has movie adaptations. It was just on my bookshelf, and I wanted to finally get to them because I wasn't able to. Starting off with that is the Summer I Turned Pretty series. Obviously it follows Belly, and she goes to the summer house in Cousins where she is like goo goo gaga over this Conrad guy, right? So when she becomes pretty, that's when things get real and like shit goes down. And yeah, I'm pretty sure if you've either seen the series or read the books, you are very familiar with The Summer I Turned Pretty. I'm gonna be honest on here because I put so much time and effort into this. The first book, this is the book that like really got me. Like, I loved this book, I loved reading this book, I thought it was super cute. The only thing is that when it kept reading, it kind of got a little iffy for me, because not only did the choices that she made make me so mad, not only in the books but in the movie adaptation, in the series adaptation too. I don't know if you guys are team Conrad or Jeremiah. I was team Jeremiah at first, and then I was like, maybe team Conrad. It's because Conrad pissed me off so much. They both did. Honestly, I was team Cam Cameron at this point. This was a 3 out of 5 for me. It was rough for me to get through it. That's all I'm saying. If you have more comments about this, please let me know in the comments down below, because I really want to know your opinions on it. If you loved the books and hated the series, or if you loved the series and hated the books, or if you just liked both, or if you just hated both, you know, let me know. If you're team Conrad, if you're team Jeremiah, if you were team Cam Cameron like me. I know I'm gonna get so much hate for this. I already had these, okay? It's To All the Boys I Loved Before. So basically it's about Lara Jean, and she ends up fantasizing about love, and she sends out a bunch of love letters to a bunch of crushes she had, and she doesn't want Margot, her sister, to know that she had a crush on her boyfriend. And so when Josh got his letter, she ends up pouncing on Peter Kaminsky, and they end up fake dating, and she ends up going like in a whirlwind with him, and then also a whirlwind with the other love letters that she sent. And I just think it's such a cute story. My honest opinions about this series I loved. So I obviously watched the movies before I read the books, because so I saw the movies, and yup, I would recommend reading the books before the movies. I know everyone says that, but hear me out. So basically, all the details that they kind of miss in the movies that you're like a little bit confused about, like why aren't they talking about this more, why blah blah blah, it's because they have it in the books. Obviously I pictured the characters in my head because I watched the movies first, but when I read the books, I started like adapting my own characters. It was weird, but definitely recommend. I personally was team John Ambrose. I think she should have gone with him instead of Peter Kaminsky, even in the movies, because we get attached to John Ambrose so much in the books that I feel like we should get more attached to John Ambrose in the movies. But that's just me. Again, let me know if you agree with this or if you don't agree with this. If you're like, fuck the books, I like the movies, fuck the movies, I like the books. Again, let me know. I'm open to anything, and I really want to know your guys' opinions on it. It's a 5 out of 5. And then the last series that I read is the We Were Liars series. Hear me out. Hear me out. I love the We Were Liars. We Were Liars, good. I love the plot twist. Now, these books are about a family. So it's the Sinclair family, and they're like, shh, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can do blah 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 blah. This. And they're like posh about it. So like, obviously I can't say the plot twist because I don't want to spoil the whole book. But let's just say they do some pretty deadly stuff. If you're looking for a submarine read, especially since it's like set in the lake and the plot twist just makes sense for Summerween. I know that this is a series. I haven't seen the series yet, but I'm watching it right now, and so far I gotta say they're doing a pretty fantastic job talking about who these family are and all the drama that we get to read. Let me know if you read any of these books, and again, let me know any of your opinions on this. If you read some of the books, if you didn't read some of the books, if you want to read some of the books, if you agree or disagree with anything that I said. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe if you want to hear more about my reading journey, and yeah, bye.